on justice made by family and friends. Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi declares bid for Bungoma gubernatorial seat as incumbent Kenneth Lusaka serves his final term.
I, Erastus Edung Ethekon,
new chairperson of the Independent Electoral. All right, our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. You're in safe pair of hands tonight. Let's get this show started. Now, Erastus Ethekon has formally been sworn in as the new chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, replacing the late Wafula Chebukati, who served at the helm of the commission. Now, Ethekon took the oath of office on Friday alongside 6 commissioners at a ceremony held at the Supreme Court building and presided over by the Chief Justice Martha Koome. During the oath-taking, the new IEBC chairperson accepted his responsibilities and pledged to serve Kenyans diligently without fear, favor, or bias. During the event, Anne Njeri Nderitu, Moses Alutalala Mukhwana, Mary Karen Sorobit, Hassan Nur Hassan, Francis Odhiambo Adwol, and Fahima Arafat Abdallah were all sworn in as commissioners.
I, Erastus Edung Ethekon, having been appointed the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission,
I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and all other laws.
Today marks the beginning of our service to the people of Kenya. We must approach this sacred duty, therefore, with the urgency and integrity and absolute commitment guided by our Constitution and the laws of the Republic, but more importantly, guided by the expectations of every Kenyan. Free and fair and credible elections are the cornerstone of our democratic society. The IEBC is entrusted with the solemn responsibility to ensure that every citizen's voice is not only heard, but honored.
You are now carrying this country on your shoulders. My only advice would be, you are the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, not commissions.
Kenyans have a lot of expectations. Kenyans have a lot of faith. Kenyans have a lot of trust in you. All that you need to do is to build the confidence, the trust that has been bestowed upon you.
You, the IEBC, must earn the trust of the people through your conduct. You must always ask how the decisions you make, just like we do in the judiciary, impact on the society. You must also be very, very wary about your integrity.
All right, let's get to understand this new man at the helm of the IEBC. Now, before his nomination, Erastus Edung Ethekon served as a consultant partner at Northern Consulting Solutions and Ethekon Advocates, bringing over 2 decades of experience in legal and advisory services. His career began at the United Nations Development Program, where he worked from 2007 to 2015 as a program management specialist and later as a programs advisor. In 2018, he was appointed county attorney for Turkana County, a role he held for 6 years. Ethekon holds a Bachelor's of Law degree from the University of Nairobi and a postgraduate diploma in law from the Kenya School of Law. He also earned a postgraduate certificate in the implementation of international human rights treaties from the University of Nottingham in the United Kingdom. All right, as for the vice chairperson, now the IEBC has officially announced the election of Commissioner Fahima Arafat Abdallah as the vice chairperson of the commission. The decision, according to a statement, was made during the commission's 288th plenary meeting held at the commission's boardroom earlier on. She served as a member of the Lamu County Assembly Service Board, a position she has held since 2023. She has also been a part-time facilitator at the Institute of Corporate Governance and the African Institute of Devolution since the same year. Between 2017 and 2022, Arafat served as the Lamu County Executive Committee member for lands, infrastructure, finance, trade, investments, agriculture, and water. Prior to that, she worked as the ward administrator for Shella Ward from 2014 to 2017. The new IEBC vice chairperson holds a Master of Arts degree in project planning and management from the University of Nairobi, which she earned in 2020. Fahima also holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree in accounting from the Kenyatta University. So those two people are people you need to note down, and not just those two, but also for the whole commissioners, because they're basically at the helm of the new IEBC. Quite an entry for them for the next, I'd say, a year or 2 years to the next general elections. We've got by-elections to conduct in various places, wards, constituencies as well. Within the Republic of Kenya, also of voter registration. The process has to kickstart as well, verify those that are currently registered as voters, as well as register new voters, and of course the big litmus test, the 2027 polls. So all eyes on this particular commission. Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has challenged the newly sworn-in IEBC commissioners to get to work immediately and make the electoral body ready to conduct by-elections in the coming general elections. While welcoming the dismissal of the court case challenging the appointment, the DP said the country needs a functional elections agency to ascertain its democracy and people's choices at the ballot. He spoke on Friday during an economic empowerment for women at Kipkeke in Cherangany constituency in Trans Nzoia County, where he also said the Kenya Kwanza administration is focused on developing the country as it gets ready for the coming polls.
Tumefurahi vile mahakama imeachilia, na tungetaka kuuliza jaji mkuu aharakishe kuapishwa kwa tume mpya ya mipaka na uchaguzi, ili waanze kutayarisha kwa sababu ya uchaguzi ambao kuna by-election na uchaguzi ambao utakuja huko 2027. As they prepare, sisi tunaendelea na kazi yetu ya maendeleo, kwa sababu the work of preparing for elections is for IEBC, is not for people who are already in office. Sisi ni kukazana na kutimiza ahadi. IEBC nao watutayarishie uchaguzi. Na mimi nimeona kuna watu ambao wanasherekea wakati nchi yetu inapata aibu ya machafuko na mizozo na ukosefu wa usalama na uharibifu wa mali na kupotea kwa maisha. Mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba katika mambo ya uongozi, katiba imesema IEBC ndio itatayarisha mambo ya uchaguzi na kutangaza, na mwenye afurahi vile IEBC imesema aende mahakamani, kama ni High Court kwa wabunge, kama ni uchaguzi wa rais anaenda Supreme Court. Lazima tuheshimu taasisi zetu, sikiwemo mahakama, sikiwemo IEBC. Wale ambao wanaleta siasa ya utoto ya kujaribu kuvuruga nchi ya Kenya na kutuambia ya kwamba ati kuna njia za mkato za kutafuta uongozi, wajue ya kwamba nchi yetu ya Kenya haitaki kusafiri safari ambao nchi zingine majirani wetu wametembea. Hakuna njia ya mkato. Ule anataka kuwa MCA, MP, governor, rais, ngojea uchaguzi 2027. Hiyo uchaguzi ndio unaamua nani anakuwa kiongozi kutoka MCA mpaka rais.
Kenyans have voiced their faith in the new IEBC that has been sworn in on Friday with 5 commissioners, a vice chairperson and a chairperson. This, many believe, marks a new turning point for Kenya, with a huge litmus test ahead of managing the 2027 polls. However, they want the commission to get to work and conduct by-elections as soon as possible.
Jambo la kwanza ningetaka kwanza kushukuru kwa kujua saa hii tuko na IEBC. Najua hiyo ni part and parcel ya Kenya na Wakenya wote kwa jumla. So Kenya ningetaka tu niseme kama Narok sisi tuko na by election ya MCA, tumekaa sana na tumekuwa na hiyo ari ya kutaka tujue MCA wetu ni nani. Tungetaka tuseme saini asante juu tutakuwa na hiyo wazi sasa tufanye election ya free and fair kupitia.
Tumefurahia kwa sababu ya IEBC kuwekwa na tunaomba ya kwamba ikuwe free and fair wakati inafanyisha elections, kwa sababu kama mjini Narok township ward hatujakuwa na MCA aliaga kitambo na kuna aspirants ambao wamesimama. So ningeomba kwa ambao wamesimama na sio tu Narok, hata mahali kwingine ambao kutakuwa na by election, watu wafanye siasa nzuri, siasa smart.
Now let's switch away from matters IEBC. Grief overwhelmed the home of late Boniface Kariuki Mwangi as family, friends and loved ones gathered to pay their final respects as he was laid to rest at their home in Kangema. Heart-wrenching scenes unfolded with Kariuki's mother collapsing in anguish, overcome by the unbearable sorrow of losing her son. His burial followed a deeply emotional requiem mass held at the Holy Family Basilica, where mourners called for justice and an end to police brutality. The Director of Public Prosecutions approved murder charges against Police Constable Clinzy Masinde Baraza in connection with Kariuki's death. Kariuki was shot at close range and rushed to Kenyatta National Hospital, where he underwent surgery. He remained in the intensive care unit for 2 weeks before being declared brain dead. A post-mortem examination revealed that Kariuki died from a severe head injury with 4 bullet fragments lodged in his brain.
Galia tu hoka unaona ni kitu ambao unaweza piga marisasi hivyo. That thing should stop and we condemn that act na njia yoyote ambao tunaweza.
Huyu kijana yeye ni mojawapo wa wale ambao serikali ilikuwa suppose inalinda. Hawa vijana kama hawa, they do not deserve to die. They deserve to be protected by the government of Kenya. This government must take responsibility for the death of Bonnie. We demand justice and we tell the government that we shall not rest until Bonnie gets justice.
A president is now internationally on record saying that his citizens should be killed, should be shot. Murkomen mwenyewe alisema alikuwa na amri kutoka juu. William has made it very clear that Murkomen was not acting on his express instructions, of a sitting president who was sworn to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya.
Tulitoa order vijana wawawe. Mwaka jana 2024 wakati jenzi wametokeza, there was a shoot to kill order na vijana walikuwa napigwa risasi kwa kichwa Kimilili, maini kule mimi natoka. Mjukuu wa Elijah Masinde, another freedom fighter, alipigwa risasi akawa kijana 22 years old. Sisi tulikuwa tunashangaa huyu jamaa akisema bottom up anamaanisha nini. Bwana Kangata mwambie hata wewe haukuelewa bottom up ni nini. Kumbe bottom up ilikuwa ni kutoa vijana chini awapeleke binguni.
It's good to punish, but it is important to restore the dignity of the Kenyan people. That is dictated in our constitution, and William Ruto swore to defend, protect and uphold that constitution, but he has flagrantly violated it every day. Every time he opens his mouth. Ni hivyo tu kufuja katiba.
Wamekataa hiyo msemo. Wamesema kwamba aliye juu mparage umteremshe chini. Na mimi nawaomba mchukue kura. Mjiandikisha kama wakupiga kura, mchukue kura. Hii mambo ya one time haitapita kabla tusipokuwa na kura.
TikToker and businessman Kakan Mayo has been released on a cash bail of 10,000 Kenyan shillings after spending 2 nights in custody at Muthaiga police station. Mayo was initially scheduled to be arraigned in Milimani but was instead returned to the station. He is accused of incitement for allegedly making inflammatory remarks and alarming publication targeting police officers and their families through his TikTok content. Speaking after his release, Maio said he was interrogated over several of his online videos and that his mobile phone was confiscated during the process. His legal team has dismissed the charges as baseless, arguing that the accusations do not meet the legal threshold for prosecution.
They thought maybe I'm acting with a group or something, but I told them those are my personal views, and I'm speaking out of sincere cry of many Kenyans. No one paid me to do that. I'm not on any salary from any organization to speak against injustice.
Khan was arrested for simply expressing himself. Khan is a model citizen, an upright man, he's a man of God, and he was arrested for doing the Lord's work.
He's being accused of publishing alarming publication. First of all, that is very laughable, as there is no offense known in law as alarming publication. Freedom, liberty, and human rights are not a favor granted by the state. They are fundamental rights that everybody gets because they are human.
We need national conversation. However long it will take, let it take long, but let every Kenyan know his role, the role of police, and the role of administration. Everybody will be okay.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has arrived in the United States for a 2-month-long tour in what he says will be an engagement tour with Kenyans living in the United States. This marks Gachagua's first foreign trip since his impeachment in October 2024, when he was removed from office. His U.S. itinerary includes stops in Dallas, California, Seattle, Boston, and Baltimore, where he is expected to host town hall forums, cultural engagements, and meetings with American business leaders.
I am really looking forward to see our people. I've missed them, I love them, and I can't wait to start engaging with them, to catch up, to know how they have been, how their lives have been, their life here, and also tell them how back home is. So we are really looking forward.
Okay, thanks so much. Welcome.
Yes, Sandy. Thank you.
A Supreme Court ruling granting inheritance rights to Muslim children born out of wedlock continues to spark reactions among Muslim leaders. UDA Secretary General Hassan Omar and Jomvu Member of Parliament Badi Twalib have strongly criticized the decision, arguing the Supreme Court has no mandate to interpret the Holy Quran. They are calling on the courts to nullify the ruling, claiming it undermines Islamic teachings. Additionally, they are appealing to the incoming Chief Kathi to provide a lasting solution.
Hatuwezi kuwa sisi leo mwanaharamu anaambiwa arithi katika mahakama nyingine. Hili ni swala haliwezekani. Kwa hivyo naomba kwamba Waislamu wote wana utulivu, na hili jambo halitowezekana kwa namna moja ama namna nyingine. Tunasema kadhi atakayekuja, hili ndio liwe agenda yake ya kwanza.
There cannot be a Supreme Court that tries to overturn the Quran. There can never be a Supreme Court that tries to rewrite the Quran. The judicial overreach by these courts of justice today is quite appalling in wanting to interfere with all aspects, some which they are not experts on. And I think it is an affront to the Muslim community. It is an unnecessary aggravation of emotions. They must review that judgment. But Muslims also will find ways in which not everything that the Supreme Court says is lawful or Islamic.
Koti nyingine zozote zisiingilie mambo yetu sisi Waislamu, kwa sababu tuna mambo ambayo scholars tuko nao na mambo mengine ambayo tunayo. Wakianza kutubadilishia mambo na reality of life, mambo mengine yanakwenda kwa kufuata kitabu. Sisi tufuata Qurani yetu, ndio constitution yetu sisi wa
20 minutes past the hour mark. Allow us to take a quick breather right here on EBN Weekend Edition. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The family of a man whose body was captured on video being dragged by police officers has revealed his final moments before he was killed during the Saba Saba Day protests. Harrison Wachira lost his life after being shot on Monday, with his immediate family members calling for justice, believing it to be another case of the excessive and lethal use of force by police officers. One of Wachira's uncles revealed more details of how the deceased allegedly died, blaming the shooting on an officer believed to have been on board an unmarked Subaru. The family also confirmed the authenticity of the viral video, claiming that Wachira's remains were stained with mud from when he was dragged by police officers.
Na tulikuwa na shida sana kusikia ripoti ya askari ikisema ati alikanyangwa kwa mfurutano ya maandamano, lakini ukweli imedhihirika kwamba Harrison aliuawa kwa bunduki, kwa risasi iliyoingia pande ya right hapa, ikafuja hiyo fupa ya hapa, ikafuja hii area hii ya kifua, ikaingia kwa lungs, ikaingia mpaka ndio ikatafuta njia ya kutokea pande hii ya left. Kwa hivyo tuko na ushuhuda kali na isiyo mzuri kwamba aliuawa kwa risasi.
Wachira was shot. He was not demonstrating. He was not on the demonstration. The gunshot just, there were some vehicles that were they did have number plate. They went spraying the bullets, and the bullets hit him. In fact, he was at his place of work. And we want to ask the DCI of Juja constituency to look, because it's not the first time that we have seen people being shot just like that. Another person being shot, he was not even demonstrating, but he was shot when he was on 8th floor in a building. That he was not in the, you cannot do a demonstration when you are in the building. So we want the government or the security around Juja constituency, they just see on how they'll handle when the demonstration come, how they'll handle, because just killing innocent blood is not good.
Leaders allied to the Wiper Party from Makueni County have castigated the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, for being a tool used by the Kenya Kwanza administration in political witch hunting. 3 leaders from the county, including the CEC for Sports, Sebastian Kioni, Arbanas Wambua, and Francis Mutuku, have been grilled 3 times by the DCI in a span of 1 week. The trio's spokesperson, Willie Malile, says despite being grilled about the June 25th protests, no charges have been initiated against them, insisting that it's political undertones from members of parliament who support the Kenya Kwanza administration.
Kwa hivyo accusation ya hawa walipanga maandamano, that is a lame accusation unless there is proof that mtu ambaye nilituma pale alienda akavunja duka ya mtu, unless there is proof mimi nilionekana nikivunja duka ya mtu. Otherwise hii ni witch hunt, na the government of President Ruto is deemed to fail. 2027 tuko na wao one term. Unajua the president alipeana order ya kushoot miguu, na waziri wake Murkomen alipeana order ya kupiga risasi kwa kichwa, kumaanisha hawa watu wako na nia badala ya kusukuma ile wheelbarrow sasa tuwekelewe kwa wheelchair. Hayo ni mambo ambayo president anafaa kurudi nyuma, aende ayatoe hayo maneno kutoka kinywa chake, kwa sababu Wakenya wengi hasa the church is very silent. We want them to wake up and condemn the president for doing whatever he's doing. So ukiona mahali kuna demonstration, people are insisting on the government to change its ways. Watu wanaumia, kuna mambo mingi sana serikali imeharibu. Kama mambo ya SHA, unajua watu wetu wameumia kwa payslip.
Succession talks for the Bungoma gubernatorial race have heat up, with Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi officially announcing his bid to succeed Bungoma Governor Kenneth Lusaka. Speaking after a meeting with members of Parliament as well as ward representatives from Bungoma County, Westlands MP Tim Wanyonyi argues that after serving 3 terms as a member of Parliament, he feels ready to run for governorship. Wanyonyi says despite being an ODM member, he is currently associating with leaders and citizens from different political divides, stressing that he is not involved in political party politics. According to Webuye West Member of Parliament Dan Wanyama, Bungoma County needs a strong leader who will ensure residents get the progress they deserve in development areas.
Mimi nimekuja kama timu Wanyonyi. Please don't profile me. Msianze kuniweka kwa other packages that are not there. Sawa sawa?
Yes.
I belong to ODM, but I am not saying I'm ODM. I've come here as a candidate seeking to run for the governor of Bungoma. Hii engine tutadefine baadaye. Si ndio?
Yes.
We shall define. We might end up all together.
Yes.
And that is what I'm praying for. I want also to say that Bungoma is a very strategic county. The third largest in Kenya. The potential in this county is huge, and we need to tap it. We need to look at how we can carry along our young people.
Yes.
All the interest in Bungoma. I know there are many communities that are operating from here. We have business groups, we have religious groups, we have our other communities that are also working together. Now, I have been tested and inajulikana ya kwamba I can perform, and I'm not saying or undermining anybody, and I'm not even underestimating my opponents. I'm offering myself knowing very well that there is task ahead, and we shall fight it out with everybody who is in the race.
Tumesema sisi tutasimama nyuma yake na tuhakikishe ya kwamba hii kiti ya ugavana ya Bungoma mheshimiwa Tim anaunyakua. Nataka pia tuambie wale ambao pengine walikuwa na nia ya kwamba hata unapoangalia unaona tu hii safari ni kama imeshaisha. Na tunasihi wananchi wetu watukufu ambao huwa wanatusikiza, kwa ajili ninyi ndio nguvu zetu. Sisi penye tuko hatuwezi tukapahatisha. Tutembee pamoja ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba Bungoma inabadilika chini ya mheshimiwa Tim Wanyonyi.
Just a little history. You know, in 2022, Tim Wanyonyi was looking to be the county governor for Nairobi County. But that time, you know, there was some sort of partnership between Jubilee Party and ODM Party. And so he, you know, withdrew his candidature in favor of Igathe, who, you know, after the polls basically disappeared. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out for the people of Bungoma County. All right, that wraps our bulletin tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you're duly informed on what is making headlines tonight and across the country. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a wonderful evening and a blessed weekend ahead.